What the heck? What happened to all the water? Can't even do my dishes. There's no water. How are you supposed to do dishes without water? But, oh, hey, 2nd District. State Representative Andrew Barkis here. Hey, how about a breakdown about what's been going on here in Olympia under the dome? Why don't we step outside and have a little visit? Man, what a gorgeous day in Olympia. Good to be here working for the people of the state of Washington. And you know, I'm still here working. Spent a lot of time underneath that dome this year. 193 days, longest session in our state's history. And one of the main reasons we were here so long is because of the water issue that I mentioned when I was in there doing my dishes. The Hearst decision was a 2016 Supreme Court decision that affected the ability for people to put in an exempt well on their property. And you know, I was at an event back in January and I met a couple from Eatonville, and they told me a story about a piece of property that had been handed down to them through their family. And it was their hope to build a brand new house on that piece of property. But because of this decision, they were unable to do so. And you know, that's just not right. We need to be able to provide them and others in the state of Washington the ability to be able to gain access to water. And even if they could get that well, even if they could go through that permitting process, they're facing tens of thousands of dollars in having to do hydrological studies to make sure that they can actually have water. But you know, they're not the only ones. Literally hundreds and hundreds of people emailed my office, called my office, came by to visit me here in Olympia to tell me their personal stories about how this has affected them. Day one, we said this was going to be one of the top issues that we were going to deal with here during this session. That's why it got tied in with the capital budget. You know, it affects all people in Washington. Why should people in Seattle? You know, they're building 12,000, 14,000 new apartment homes and individual units in downtown Seattle. Where do you think they get their water from? They get their water from a watershed miles and miles and miles away from the urban area. But in that same watershed, somebody with a piece of property that wants to build a house can't put a well in. This issue needs to be resolved. And you know what? We worked on it. We brought forth solution after solution after solution to take care of the water issue and to get a capital budget done. Let me tell you a couple of those solutions. You know, the Senate came forward with Senate Bill 5239. In that bill, they had a solution, what they called the Hearst fix. It passed bipartisanly off the floor of the Senate 4 times. That bill never came over to the House for us to vote on. In addition to that, that bill then had what was the Blake-Taylor Stryker Amendment put on it. Blake and Taylor, a Democrat and a Republican, working together to come up with a better solution on that. We never saw that. We never had a chance to vote on that particular bill. And there again was the capital budget. You know, the capital budget, we thought out of principle and the agreements that were made that we would be able to take care of this. So we, as a House, as a body, we voted for the capital budget, almost unanimously passed it off our floor, sent it over to the Senate, thinking that we'd be done. And on the last day that we were here, we waited all day long. We sat there and waited for the ability to vote on the capital budget and this Hearst decision, thinking we would have it done for the citizens of the state. It never got brought to the floor. So here we sit, no capital budget, no Hearst decision, but I can tell you, we're not done fighting. That's why I'm here today. It's one of the reasons we're still working. We're trying to find the solution to make sure we can get this taken care of. I recognize what's important, the capital budget. You know, I've got projects in the district right now. Everything from Meals on Wheels to a fire station to affordable housing. I've been talking to my community college leaders, telling me about the crisis they're in, all these projects and things that they're facing. It is imperative that we get that capital budget done. But how can we allow building and state projects and all these other things when we're not going to allow the building of an individual home? It's just not right. One Washington. One Washington means equality for all citizens in the state of Washington. So I'm dedicated to doing that. But you know, under the dome, we did have a lot of successes. Personally, passed some great legislation this year from the Small Business Bill of Rights. But more importantly, we got a budget done that took care of the McCleary issue, fully funding of basic education. That budget was tough. We had a lot of debate on that budget, but we did in the end get something that we can be proud of for the state. We also fought back a lot of tax increases. There were a lot of tax proposals put forth, but in the end we were able to work out something to get the funding, work within our means, use the revenues that are coming in the state to take care of education, mental health, our infrastructure, affordable housing, and many other things that need to be done here. So I'm proud of the work I've done in the state of Washington. I'm proud of what we did under the dome here in the legislature this year. we're going to keep working until we get this Hearst fix done and that we get this capital budget passed, and we'll move on from there. So thanks for sticking around for another breakdown here. Watch for my newsletter coming out. It's going to be coming out here real soon. It'll give a nice breakdown of everything, referencing a lot of the bills we worked on. Always have email updates coming out, and you can always email me, stop by the office, give me a call. I'll be getting back out in the district real soon to start meeting with people and constituents to tell the story about what really happened here this year and to hear more about what I need to be focusing on coming up for the next session, which is just around the corner. Have a great summer, everybody.